Stay with us. Very much for keeping us company. My name again is Helena Anyoeja, and we are coming live to you from the Kwabwahima studio here at Northridge. Let's start from here. Some captains of industries and businessmen share their expectations ahead of the 2026 budget presentation by the finance minister on how the Ghanaian industry can thrive and address the needs of people.
Series of businesses has been presented before the House, and both caucuses have been discussing matters as to how, to strengthen the economy and also push the Ghanaian economy further. Today is the big day. We have about 2 businesses to deal with. Budget 2026 is happening today with the finance minister being in the House exactly at 2 p.m. And also we are having the approval of the vetted Chief Justice, the acting Chief Justice, His Lordship Bafo Boni, who also will be approved today. I think yesterday the committee served the report to the Speaker, and today exactly at 12 p.m. we'll be having the approval. Surely we're expecting debates in the House and how things are supposed to be done. Now we have with us the Tyne Constituency Member of Parliament, Honorable Adama Sulemana, who is also a member on the the Budget Committee actually, who would like to also go deeper with us regarding what we are supposed to expect today. But before that, let us discuss matters on what the approval today will be and how it's going to go. Are we looking to find a heated house today?
All right, thank you. Good morning to your viewers and listeners. Like you said, the report of the appointment committee was delayed in Parliament yesterday. It's been slated for 12 noon today that we will take it. So in a couple of minutes' time, we are supposed to start Parliament and take it. I'm sure it's going to be, just like any report of the appointment committee, is going to be debated, and it will be by majority decision, because just like you really pointed out, the minority walked out. So the report itself will be by a majority decision. It will be a consensus. But usually when we do voice votes and people have concern, they raise it, and it will turn out to be a head count or something. But I'm pretty sure he discharged himself creditably. I'm pretty sure he will be passed.
Well, the advantage is always on your side, because the majority carries the vote, and then the majority side, you hold the numbers. So when you say majority will decide, that's it. Should it be a decision here in Parliament where the minority will object to some of the rules in the House, where Speaker will project the approval and they will act like they don't understand and they will not accept it? Are we expecting that today?
I'm expecting a walkout. I'm expecting a walkout from them, because it will be hypocritical. They refuse to take part in the vetting. It will be hypocritical to come to the chamber to try to even attempt to vote. So I expect them to walk out. But the Ghanaian populace saw the vetting. The man has run through all the levels of the justice system, and for me, I'm convinced with the output that he demonstrated. So I'm sure a lot of my colleagues are also convinced, and that he will be, by the end of this, by the end of the period, he will be confirmed as the substantive Chief Justice.
But yesterday, the minority leader said that the majority in the House is trying to bully them any now and then. And when matters or debates are on the floor, the majority leader always want to surpass their views and then also their predictions. What do you say about that?
I'm sure of all the majority leaders that I have seen, the most liberal that I have seen is Honorable Mama Yarega. He allows the minority to have their way. In fact, every avid listener or viewer of this 9th Parliament, especially through the appointment committee sittings, will see how the minority leader have been given all the opportunities in the world to talk. He has turned opening statement into press conferences. He has had his way throughout. But when it comes to matters of law, the honorable majority leader doesn't joke with law. So when he did realize that the law was being broken, then he needed to insist. So if the insistence of him on the vetting day of the Chief Justice, he calls it bullying and trying to be dictatorial, so be it. But I doubt. I mean, the majority of Ghanaians don't believe that.
Are we not going to have pressure in the House, looking at the approval, the debates that is yet to happen with the approval of the vetted Chief Justice Bafo Boni? Why not? Yesterday, Afenyo Markins, the minority leader in Parliament, suggested that it could be done tomorrow, that is Friday. But then the majority leader affirmed the stance that yes, we are supposed to take it at 12. Couldn't something have been done?
Well, I'm not in leadership, but what I'm aware was that leadership had engagement in conclave, even without the speaker, and both sides agreed that it should be taken today. But when the speaker, it was the speaker who actually suggested that he thought it was going to be tomorrow, but then they said both sides had already agreed. And I was in the chamber when that motion was being debated, and I believe that it's agreed. Both agree that we should take it to the video. There's no need for waiting when the report is ready. And I don't think it's bringing any pressure. We were already slated to meet at 2. Right. But then we had to bring it back to 12 because we needed to approve the Chief Justice. So I don't see any hits coming out. I believe that today will be a cool day.
Now, speak to us about the budget. Secondly, what are your expectations?
Yes, my expectation of this budget is the risk that the budget poses, that I'm expecting the minister to find a way to navigate those risks. The first risk is the compensation. You realize that within the year, after the appropriation of 2025, a lot of public sector workers have been agitating. The previous government employed 13,000 health personnel without budgeting for them. He gave clearance for 14,000 education personnel without budgeting for them. Another 6,000 public sector workers. So in all, 33,000 without making budgeting for them. So I will try to see how the minister will navigate this challenge vis-a-vis the rising compensation costs. As we speak now, we have a little under 1 million public sector workers out of our population. We spent over 50% of our appropriation on those public sector workers. The rest 33%, the rest 33 million. I'm trying to see how the minister will find innovative way of absorbing them into employment, not necessarily by government, but the private sector. So how is it going to stimulate the economy? Yes. Then we are having an upward trajectory of our economic indicators, GDP, interest rate, exchange rate, inflation and the rest. How are we going to sustain it? Then we talk about the infrastructure development the government has started. How are we going to deepen and increase it? So these are my expectations. I actually also expect the government to look into the IMF program. Said we need to make 1.5% primary budgets, primary surplus. It means when you take your revenue and your expenditure, you must get a surplus of 1.5% of GDP. How is it going to meet that? How is it going to meet the IMF requirement of 0.5 revenue as a percentage of GDP? So these are the things that I'm expecting, so that we don't throw the IMF program into gear while sitting in our fiscal space as well, and also not tightening Ghanaians too much.
Education has always been on my heart. How education is supposed to be carved in here in Ghana, and we know that the current Minister for Education has been trying his best with series of policies that are supposed to strengthen the educational spine. Talk to us about education, factoring that in the budget.
Yes, I'm sure a bigger chunk of our budget go to health and education, the two most important social dimensions of our budget. And I believe that education has got too many levels. So I'm expecting a holistic approach. What are we doing with the basic education? What are we doing with the middle level, the secondary education, and what we are doing with tertiary education? Educational infrastructure is abysmal in this country. I've seen a big approach. Because of the decapping of the GET fund and then the health insurance, I've seen a lot of resources going into GET fund to be able to take out the infrastructure. Then the policies that the minister has also undertaken in the educational sector, just to bring up our education to a level that we are all expecting. You look at all the interventions, whether it is health, the allowances for teachers, allowances for students, allowances for researchers, for public sector educational workers. I'm trying to see how we can also improve the living conditions of especially our teachers. What are we doing? That's something that we must look at. But I'm sure if we are able to consolidate the gains that we've made in the last year and then consolidate again this year, going into 2027, I'm sure we are able to give public sector workers, especially teachers, something meaningful to take home.
You are a member on the Information and Communications Committee in Parliament. You know,
the Youth and Sports Committee.
Thank you so much. So, fishmongers and also the fishing industry, what would you like to say about it?
Yes, it's an industry that is like a gold mine yet to be actually tapped in. I believe that the fishery subsector should be tackled adequately, just like we are doing the food crop sector, the cash crop sector. The fishery sector must also be tackled. And I heard the Minister for Agriculture mention the three main areas in the fishery sector: the aquaculture, the marine sector, and the rest. So I believe that the policy that the government has tried to implement should be actually tightened and increase funding to the fishery sector, especially what the fisher folks need in order to do their work, and also to also facilitate the resource that we need. I mean, the rivers, the sea, what we need, and especially tackle petroleum. Right. Very critical sector that we need to actually look at.
I had a message in my DM and also in my email. It has to do with a friend who was questioning me about leaving the transport minister to relax when they have job to do. And I asked, why do you say that? And I said, Dominic, don't you see our street lights? There are no lights there. And I wonder why you guys do not poke the minister to give us vivid explanation into that. Require remember that the original minister also said that the street lights in Accra are going to be dealt with. We had it, and then she's keeping up with work. But today there are street lights that are not working. Darkness has engulfed us. What would you like to say about that sector?
It's the reason why you guys are there. You guys are there to keep us, like to inform, to get a Ghanaian informed, to give government on its toes. I mean, it's something that we must look at. It's a critical angle that you have looked at. It's a multi-sectoral approach from the Energy Ministry to the Regional Coordinating Council to the Transport Ministry. I mean, it's not difficult to solve. I believe that the Minister for Transport should be averted to this particular issue and then deal with it adequately.
When are we expected to close?
I'm sure that by 2 p.m. the budget should also be. You should start the budget engagement later by 4:30. I'm sure we will get out of here with good hearts, a good message, and then hope for the Ghanaian people.
Well, thank you very much for
Mahama is the hope, so he's back to give the Ghanaian the hope.
Well, thank you very much. I was speaking to Madama Suleimana, Tyne constituency, Tyne member of Parliament for constituency, and also a member on the Information and Communication Committee, as well as he is a member on the Budget Committee in Parliament. He has said it all. There is a lot happening today. The approval of the Chief Justice, vetted Chief Justice, His Lordship Bafo Bonny, who will be here today. The committee chair presented the budget, presented the report to the Speaker of Parliament yesterday, which today 12 p.m. we are told that the approval will go on. Debate will surely rise from the minority and the majority side, but however it is, we'll finish the day peacefully. And also the budget is expected to happen 2 p.m. exactly. As at now, you can see we can see some member of Parliament seated. The gallery position is also empty. We have some students here as well, and then all eyes are on Parliament today. A lot is going to happen today. I hope that we come up with decisions that will help Madagana. For Metro News, my name is Dominic Nana Kwamina Ansapra.
Ceylon, good afternoon, Ghana. This afternoon, let's take a listen to more industry players.
Always expect that how can we solve the challenges about the health of our people. Some of the areas, for example, antiretroviral medicines. We all know that the Global Fund, which has been supporting to USAID, is no more there to support HIV drugs, malaria drugs, tuberculosis drugs, and some of those drugs, commodities will not be available. So we are looking from the government if they can come with some kind of a support for the industries who can produce some of these drugs, because these are the very important products for the health security of the youth. Apart from this, we are talking at the continental level for antimicrobial resistance. What is happening, the most of the antibiotic what is there available now, many of them are developing resistance, antibiotic resistance. So what we are looking that how best we can work to produce some of these products locally here. Products like penicillin, cephalosporins, they are very capital intensive project. If the government can have some kind of a patient's capital from its wing like Ghana Exim Bank, they can come with the subsidized loan rate of interest to the private sector. We can take initiative to solve some of.
I think on other occasions, I've also had the opportunity to talk about how we can mill a lot of rice as we produce so that we can cut down on the importation of rice and also that of sugar. So particularly on the sugar factory in Komenda, because it is the President Mahama during his first term that factory was initiated. We think that he has to see it come alive. So we are appealing to the government to ensure that that one also comes alive, because we talked about reference rate going down. But the truth of the matter is that, yes, what about access to the fund? In the private sector, we tried to access funding, and it becomes very difficult. With all the requirements that you even meet, they still don't. Because the financial institutions are also very much interested in government securities, which means that they are crowding out the private sector. And that does not augur well for private sector. So the government should rather concentrate on its taxes and all of those things to raise revenue for development and allow the private sector to be able to access funding. Because
Now, with heightened anticipation for the details of the 2026 budget, members of parliament from both the majority and minority sides have expressed mixed expectations. Our parliamentary correspondents, Dominic and Sampra, picked some reactions from members ahead of the big day. Take a listen.
Year ending 2025 should technically come to the end of the budget in December, but the minister responsible for finance, in line with the dictates of the Constitution, is to present a state of the nation finances, the annual budget statement. The minister is expected, my expectation, and of course the expectation of every Ghanaian, is that the minister will account for the resources that were given by way of the tax revenue, oil revenue, and all import duties and what have you that accrue to the good people of Ghana, which the president is holding in trust for the people of Ghana. He has to account for how much resources came in 2025 and how these resources were used for the benefit of the Ghanaian people. The minister would also have to account the movement, the macroeconomic development in the country. The bottom line is that the Ghanaian economy has undergone some changes, good or bad. The good people of Ghana would have to be updated on this development.
The 2025 budget that the Minister for Finance, Atuforsen, presented was not a full year budget for President Mahama. It was an April to December budget. You remember we passed the expenditure in lieu of appropriation sometimes in January. So this is the first full budget. But even with the 9-month budget that the president have had, we've implemented, you could see all the macroeconomic indicators are showing upward trajectory, leading to Fitch and S&P and other rating agencies upgrading our economy and then our currency. We've had some positive impacts. Inflation has gone down consistently. We have the cedis being stable against the major currencies. Generally, price of goods and services on the market also coming down. So it's not the end. I'm hoping that this particular budget will consolidate the gains that we have made, so that it will trickle down to the ordinary Ghanaian. We've had a 9% increment. You know, that's the first step in the budget process. The first step is to do the salary negotiations, and then eventually you have the document, the fiscal document for the as a sole document for the budget to be presented. So I'm expecting one, robust microeconomic indicators. I'm expecting continuation of the infrastructure development that the president has started.
We are not yet promising Ghanaians heaven and earth, but we can assure Ghanaians that we are committed to building a country that will be good for all of us. Politicians, now we know Ghanaians don't even trust us again, all of us. But I can tell Ghanaians that we are not the same. It's not the same. We are not the same. And we are committed to building a country. And I've not seen the budget yet, but I know per what is happening and the monitoring finance minister, I know definitely the budget will be about revenue. It will be about projected source of revenues, which we know definitely taxes will be part. We know grants will be part. We know loans will be part. So definitely I know a major part of it will be that way. Whether the question is whether we're going for more loans or we are going to manage our loans very well. That is another question that we have to wait for the finance minister to come and answer. And when we talk about revenue source, definitely expenditure should be part. Because after that, when you get the revenue, it is now based on how you are going to spend it or the expenditure. So I think he'll be talking about allocation of funds and how he's going to spend it on key sectors, probably the education, health, infrastructure, defense, and so on. Maybe with social interventions or social.
Away from that, let's do some social stories now, as 2 of the 6 female victims who lost their lives in the Elwak Stampede during the Ghana Armed Forces recruitment exercise have been identified as residents of Kaswa in the Wutusenya East municipality of the Central Region. The families of the victims are in mourning, with parents recounting the tragic incident to the media. They were visibly distraught, with many in tears as they shared their grief. There's more in this report.
The stampede occurred on November 12, 2025 at the Elwak Sports Stadium, resulting in the death of 6 females, with 5 others in the intensive care unit and 12 in critical condition at the 37 military hospital. This led to the suspension of the recruitment exercise in Accra by President John Dramani Mahama, pending a comprehensive review of the process. One of the deceased is a 22-year-old lady, Priscilla Nyamalo, who worked at the Kaswa branch of CBG. In an interview with a section of the media, the mother of the deceased, Abigail Nyamalo, recounted how she received the news.
I said, Mama, me do me phone. Who frame me? Who sang come? Me say, oh, who do na me inti me o? I say, oh, Mama, me be fie. Your friend in line.
She told me she would be turning off her phone for the day. I asked her not to, but she assured me not to worry, that she'd come home safely. Later, I tried calling her, but her phone wasn't going through. I kept calling over and over until a man finally answered. When I asked about my daughter's whereabouts, there was no response. Worried, I called my son and told him to rush to 37 and find out what was happening. When he got there, he found my daughter in the mortuary.
Mr. Frena, and offer and or say, oh, ya Obanu, or Yaru, or da 37, or da 37. Missy, Edian, I see, or see, oh, me too, or background, no say, I see Yatiati and Nisu. Oi, Yatiati and Nisu, and I missy, yeah. Yo, me ba says here. You have to be friend for Nanko. Me friend, my friend in Brazil, uncle, just say, Oba me banumua, mochana, uncle, na me baneta mochi. Ah,
Father of the deceased, Robert Kwame Nyamalo, also spoke with the media.
He said she's going to army enlistment and camp. She went and she didn't come back again.
That's rather an unfortunate turn of events, but away from that, policy think tank Caucus International Accra has called on Parliament to amend the Public Order Act 1994, Act 491, to include stricter health and safety requirements for public event organizers following the tragic stampede at the El-Wak Stadium during a military recruitment exercise. There's more in this report.
Expressed sadness over the death, describing the tragedy as an... The organization said it was a proactive. Is to meet clear standards before the incident, which claimed 6 lives, 5 at the intensive care unit and 12 in critical condition, has reignited public concern over Ghana's poor crowd management and emergency.
Now, joining us for further conversation on public safety at special events is the West Africa Director of Caucus International, Apia Kusi Ajumako. Good afternoon to you, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to your viewers.
Great. What is the current definition of special events for which you are calling for the inclusion of churches and other religious events as well as sports events?
Okay. What I want to say is that in Ghana, we have not prioritized health and safety and also emergency preparedness and also for crowd management. Everything that we do in this country is as a result of an incident, like a firefighting. We don't make laws and see that the laws are enforced. Now, what happened yesterday could have been prevented if we have a crowd management law. Now, we have this Public Orders Act 491, which was passed in 1994. The act is only concerned about organizing a public protest, demonstration, those kind of things. And that is the scope of that particular, where it put a lot of liability on the event organizer to ensure stricter compliance of rules. But there's no obligation on event organizers. For example, even church. We go to church and you can have about 1,000 people in an auditorium, and there's only one exit. So when there's even an incident, people will all rush to the entrance, and that is where there will be a stampede. And so what I'm trying to suggest to Parliament is to seek to the amendment of the Public Order Act and to compel all event organizers, facility owners to set up emergency measures and also regularly do fire drills. Because now, if we don't do this, another disaster may be waiting to happen. And I think that it's high time we use this disaster at the El-Wak Stadium to rewrite the law so that we can come to the level whereby when you go to an event or a function, your coming back is not based upon the glory of God, but it's based on the fact that the measures have been put in place to ensure that everybody who goes there can come back safely when there's even an incident.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Apia Kusi, who was actually seeking for development. But let's now head to Parliament for more.
From the minority side.
Well, so today, in line with the constitutional mandate and also the standing orders of the House, the Finance Minister is expected. But you are talking about the approval of the CJ, which is going to be the first thing, right? If I'm right? So the first business is that the position of the minority is clear. We don't want to be part of any bad precedents. We don't want to be part of any illegality. We don't want to be part of anything that will seek to prejudice someone's fundamental human rights. In this case, the fundamental rights of Mrs. Gertrude Tokono. So basically, that position is going to be the position. We will debate the report, we would advance our argument, legal, procedural, and both substantive argument. Once we do that, I mean, it's for the good people of Ghana to determine. At the end of the day, the NDC majority will have their way, but we will have our say for posterity's sake.
Interviewing Honorable, the time member of Parliament, that is Honorable Adam Suleimana. He said that he's expecting a walkout from the minority, as you did during the vetting, because constitutional process has already been laid. There are no legal flaws that would deter, the approval of the Chief Justice today. And you are saying that no matter what, you are standing by what you believe.
Even if we have to vote on the matter for the minority members of Parliament view to be put on record, we would. I don't think that will be the way to go. His expectation is that we'll walk out. There are times we'll walk out, there are times we'll boycott, there are times we'll sit in the House to debate and to make our views be heard. It's not for every point that we'll have to walk out. And I'm telling you that the leadership has determined the course of action on this matter, and that course of action is going to be pursued to the letter.
So, whatever that happens today, your concerns will be tabled on the floor.
Exactly so. It will be a betrayal of the mandate of the people of Ghana on the side of the minority if we don't let our concern, if we don't let Hansard, if we don't let the good people of Ghana know the full extent of the concerns we are raising. Those concerns are legitimate concerns. Those concerns border on propriety. Those concerns are about the soul and spirit of the country. Those concerns are about potential constitutional violations. To that extent, we will raise them, we will argue them, we will debate on those matters, and let the good people of Ghana determine what happens next.
The minority believes that the former Chief Justice Gertrude Arabesaba Tokonu's removal wasn't right. That is what you stand by.
It is morally repugnant. It is procedurally inappropriate. It is like the mutilation of practice and procedure to favor someone. I don't think that Article 127 of the Constitution, which guarantees the independence of the judiciary, contemplates what has happened in this particular regime. It is not the contemplation of the framers of the Constitution that a day will come where the whims and caprices of the executive is going to determine the tenor of the head of the judiciary. It was not the contemplation of the framers of the Constitution, and to the extent that some people have had the guts, some people have had the confidence, the courage to pursue that particular path, it is for posterity. But posterity will not be fair to us and to the group of if there are some, even if there's a minority of one person, without printing the conscience of the majority that, look, this is going to cast a slur on the conscience of the Republic of Ghana.
Yesterday on the floor of Parliament, the minority leader said that, the majority is trying to bully, the minority side of the House, that whatever decision or projection they make on the floor of Parliament, it is not upheld to. They will interject and all that. Do you believe that?
Right, so you see,
we think it's a fair ground.
Every democracy, you see, when we started this Parliament, 9th Parliament, minority will always have their say and the majority will always have their way. It's a time-tested and it's tried learning. But this majority doesn't even want the minority to have their say. You remember in the budget debate, the last budget, they wanted us to do 5 and we will do 2. That is not part of the rules of engagement. But the speaker, being so wise, rejected that. At every single moment, you want your views to be heard, they find a way of gagging you. And I think that it is the attempt to gag, the attempt to put fetters on the freedom of expression and the freedoms of view, the attempts to put limitation to the extent to which the minority can ventilate their views is why we have problem. Because we know that at any time, if they are going to put a vote, they will win. Because they have almost 2/3 majority in the House. But the good people of Ghana did not elect us to come and sit down and watch as they do as they wish. We must have our say. And that fetter that they are trying to place on our right to be heard is what we are working against, that we are fighting against. They want to gag us, and we think that it's not appropriate. We must be allowed the laxity of time whatever time will take us to express our views. Once we express our views, they can have their vote.
The budget presentation today, the government believes that they have done adequately better and well. What do you have to say about that?
Well, so it's an IMF supported program. It was our expectation that things are going to be the way they are today on the basis of the IMF program. And if they came in and inherited and they have done exactly what we're going to do within the IMF program, they have done nothing new. And it would have been a total failure that I have cooked food for you, come and eat, and you come throwing the food away. Now it is for the government to just eat. And I don't think that eating should become so difficult. And once you eat, why do you want to praise yourself for eating food that someone has cooked for you? So I admit that the macroeconomic indicators are better than the way the MPP left them as of now. But it was within our contemplation that they will be the way they are as of today. And we are in an IMF program. The program ends with this particular budget they are going to present today. After which we then know their real size and what new they are bringing on board.
So you're one of the people who believe that this government is backed by the IMF program.
It is not a belief.
Without that, the economy wouldn't have...
It's a statement of fact. It's a statement of fact that the IMF has given us money to support our currency. It's a statement of fact that the IMF has put limitation on how much we can borrow. It is a statement of fact that the IMF has actually put also a feather as to how much money the government can also print. It's also a condition that we must achieve certain inflation and exchange rate target, some primary balance target. They are all part of the IMF condition. It's part of the IMF condition that we must spend more on social, activities. So those are the things that we know of facts. It is a fact that the IMF is in town holding cane and said that if you do not achieve A, B, C, D, we will not give you money. So why is the government not spending? Because the IMF says do not spend. Again, you cannot spend when you don't have money. We will not give you money for profligacy. You understand? So that is basically what the IMF is doing, and it is within the program.
Well, thank you very much for having us, Honorable Kabir. Right. So we have some member of parliament here who would like to engage here on the floor. You are here, Honorable. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for having us. Today is the budget presentation and also the approval of the Chief Justice, the vetted Chief Justice, His Lordship Bafo Boni. What are your expectations so far?
I think that it's a good day for Ghana. The judiciary deserve a very good head, as it were. I believe that the Chief Justice Bafo Boni has demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that he's capable of doing his work. So my expectation is that the whole House will be unanimous in the decision, so that the judiciary can execute their function as an arm of government, so that people of Ghana will see maximum benefits from them.
Do you believe it's going to be a fair play here today in the House?
Well, I may have my doubts, but in the interest of Ghana, I think that everybody should be able to give him the needed support. This is about Ghana. It's not about individual interests or political interests, as it were.
The minority believes that the procedure in removing the former Chief Justice Araba Isaba Tokono is unfair. You know, regarding or concerning the vetting on Monday, we saw a stage out and also a walkout. I mean, Adama Sulemana, who is then a member on the budget committee, also said that they are expecting a walkout today. It is going to happen today because the minority will not go with whatever that will be presented in the House. Do you believe that?
Well, what I can say is that it's within their rights. If they want to stage a walkout, you cannot stop them. But that does not also mean that we should deny Ghanaians a Chief Justice that will adjudicate issues that border on their day-to-day activities. For me, I mean, if you want to go back into what has happened in a while now, I think that the president went through the process. Prima facie was determined, a committee was set up, and the Council of State basically gave him the green light to proceed with what he has to do. So for me, so long as the tenets of the Constitution were not breached, I think that Ghanaians should be given the benefit of getting a Chief Justice. So for me, today, I'm more than 100% ready to confirm the Chief Justice, to make sure Ghanaians get the benefit of a judiciary that is ready, that is poised, that is determined to make the rule of law work in this country. So for me, it's a done deal for me.
Lastly, before you jump off or before you take your leave, the budget 2026 will be presented exactly 2 p.m. What are your expectations in brief?
I expect to hear things on how the consolidation that we've seen so far is going to be sustained going to the future. Ghanaians have gone through a lot in the past 8 years. where broken records were broken. Today, we have seen a complete reversal. Agencies that basically rate countries by way of economic performance, be it Fitch, Moody's, S&P, have all said and said clearly, Ghana is on the right course. Yes, it is true. Next year, Ghana will be out of the IMF. But looking at how much discipline this finance minister and his team have shown, I believe that even that coming up, I'm so confident that we will stick to our ground and be able to fight for growth. What I am a bit more interested in is how we are going to invest to create jobs, that the teeming youth of this country are going to get jobs, be able to live their lives. It's so sad what happened yesterday at the military recruitment, and I believe that gradually the military service would take decisions after the investigation to ensure that this does not happen again. I'm grateful, and I believe that today we'll hear something good for Ghana. Thank you.
So that's it. We're speaking to some legislators. As you see, Speaker is yet to enter the chamber, and then our business will commence. We'll come to you.
Away from Parliament, let's do some more social stories. As President John Dramani Mahama has launched the Nkuko and Kitinkiti Household and Backyard Poultry Production Initiative in Kumasi. The program, part of the broader Feed Ghana agenda, aims to revitalize the poultry sector by empowering households, women and youth to produce what they consume, reducing the nation's heavy dependence on poultry imports.
The Nkuko and Kitinkiti Household and Backyard Poultry Production Initiative. This initiative is more than just a government intervention. It is a national movement, a courageous step towards restoring food self-sufficiency, strengthening household resilience, and fostering sustainable livelihoods for tens of thousands of Ghanaians, especially women, youth, and the vulnerable families across our country. The Nkuko and Kitinkiti initiative is a flagship element of the poultry industry revitalization program, which is a key part of our broader Feed Ghana program. The National Plan for Agricultural Transformation, Food Sovereignty, and Shared Prosperity. For too long, Ghana's poultry industry, which was once a lively contributor to rural incomes and national nutrition, has faced structural bottlenecks such as high feed costs, limited access to improved breeds, inadequate processing capacity, and over-reliance on imports.
President John Dramani Mahama has set his sights on restoring Ghana's once vibrant poultry industry with the launch of the Nkuko and Kitinkiti project in Kumasi. Framed to a cornerstone of his government's Feed Ghana program, the initiative seeks to boost domestic production and reclaim millions in foreign exchange spent on imported poultry.
In 2023 alone, Ghana spent over $350 million importing poultry products, a drain on our foreign exchange and a missed opportunity for our farmers and entrepreneurs. We must and we will reverse this trend. The time has come for Ghana to reclaim the pride of producing, processing, and consuming what we ourselves grow. And so under the Feed Ghana program, the government is executing a three-pronged strategy to restore the poultry value chain from the household level to the commercial scale. The Poultry Farm to Table project, Anchor Farmers and Art Grower Support Scheme. This would have 50 anchor poultry farmers who have been carefully selected across the length and breadth of the country. Each of these 50 anchor farmers will receive 80,000 beds, housing, logistics, and technical support. These anchor farmers, with 80,000 beds each, 50 of them are expected to produce 4 million beds. This will boost local feed demand and establish direct market connections between producers and processors.
Still on social stories this afternoon, a 10-member veterinary council has been sworn into office to see of the welfare of veterinary surgeons in the country while improving the practice. Newly elected first female chairperson of the council, Dr. Sherry Johnson, has expressed optimism for the prospects of practitioners following acknowledgement by the sector ministry that the field has been neglected, noting that would change moving forward.
The Veterinary Council is made up of veterinary surgeons from academia and practice, as well as representatives from affiliate groups. In a brief ceremony to swear the new council members into office, Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture acknowledged how the field of veterinary practice has been abandoned in the past.
The veterinary services have been the food chain. The veterinary services is very critical to our survival. It's very critical to ensuring them. So it is important for governments for us to be able to invest a lot in it, so the whole food chain will be adequately covered. So far, the past administrations have just concentrated on crops. But the veterinary service is very important, and we.
First female chairperson of the council, Dr. Sherry Johnson, explained the mandate of the council and how this will be enhanced under this new leadership.
The Vet Council, as the name suggests, is the one that regulates the practice and ensuring the highest standard of veterinary practice in Ghana. And so we are involved in making sure that products coming out of the schools are of the highest standard, and also what this council plans to do is to ensure that the staff are constantly, the registered vets are constantly taking through continuous professional development, so that, times change. They can be abreast with current trend in veterinary medicine, and they will be on top of issues. It's one of the areas that has been neglected for many, many years. In Ghana, it is not as appreciated as it is in other countries, and I guess it's also because we haven't made much inroads. But yes, this council is poised to make a difference and making sure that the personnel are given all their best.
The council members took the oath of office and secrecy administered by the Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, John Dumelo.
That'll be all for the news updates this afternoon. When we return, we'll be crossing over to Parliament. My name is Helena Nyoeja. Do stay with us.
Branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Copy from to be luckiest. From not the block, she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God down for boom. If you put it away, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, Mommy, simple direction. Mr. Good Luck no check me well.
Yeah,
man.
Easy car. Or dial star 712 hash. The devil is a liar. He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
I'm his baby.
Oh, how romantic.
And he followed the prompt. Yes. And then boom. Confirmation test.
One quick, pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like 7.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, baby, I'll find me permanent. Before December, may release a motivational album. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
West Africa's soil yields global treasures. Cocoa, cashew, shea, and cotton. They power industries across the world. Yet for our region, the greatest value still slips away, exported raw, taking with it jobs, industries, and the promise of shared prosperity. The real question is no longer what we produce, but who captures the final reward. True prosperity lies in the value we add right here at home. That's why the 4th edition of the EBIT President's Roundtable will gather the architects of Africa's prosperity and Africa's transformation to answer one defining question. How do we finance the journey from the farm to the port? Join Dr. George Ejikum Donkor and some leading experts as EBIT leads a high-level dialogue to unlock financing, empower local industries, and turn West Africa's raw potential into industrial power. Be part of the conversation redefining our economic future.